All right. Looks like we're here. I'm going to look through our chat, which ones we want. Henry, number 5. Okay. Okay, number 5 is very similar to what we did with the projectile motion project. And it's not too bad. We have this function, s of t, and s of t is the height, equals 16t squared. We want to know that the height of a certain tower, so that's the height, how long does it take to fall? Okay, so this is what we're going to plug in for s of, and why is it doing that? This is what we're going to plug in for s of t. Okay, all right, so we're going to do 16 t squared equals 935. We're going to divide by 16. 935. Let me move this over here so you can see. 935 divided by 16 is 58.44. So we got 58.44 is what t squared equals. And then I'm going to finish off by square rooting it. Okay. And then we're going to square root our answer. And I get 7.64. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next, number 16 from Miles. Luke, you want to do number 21? Got it. Okay, I'm going to do 16. All right, 16 is a good one. Don't worry about it. I didn't put it on your test, so I don't want to waste your time right now. Okay, 21. All right, 21. 21 and 22 are very similar, and you do have a question that's like this on number 21. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this n to the 3. Don't worry about that. That's just telling you that you have 3 answers, okay? And so 2 of the answers are 3 and 3i. And so hopefully you realize that if you have an I, that's the square root of -1, and all square roots are plus or minus, right? So that means that if you have a 3i, you also have a -3i. So our 3 answers are going to be 3, -3i, and +3i. Now the way we write that in the parentheses, though, is those are all equal to 0. So I'm going to write x, and I'm not going to use +3, I'm going to use the opposite, -3. I'm going to subtract these, because that means x is going to equal 3 if this equals 0. Okay, and so the same thing goes here. Instead of +3i, I'm going to do -3i. Okay, and then I'm going to do that again. Instead of -3i, I'm going to do +3i. Okay? All right, we're going to solve this now. I'm going to FOIL this first. So that gives me x squared. This is going to be plus 3ix. This is going to be minus 3ix. And this is going to be minus 9i squared. And then again, when we're done, we are going to multiply this by x minus 3. Okay? All right, so simplifying this, the 3ix and the negative 3ix cancel out. This is negative 9i squared, which means negative 9 times negative 1. I squared is negative 1. So that's going to be x squared plus 9. And your answer is always going to be plus here. And then we're going to do x minus 3. And then we're going to multiply again. That's x cubed. That's plus 9x. That's minus 3x squared. And minus 27. Now rearrange it so it's in standard form. So you have x cubed, x squared, x, and negative 27. All right? Let me know what other questions you have. Go back and do a couple other ones. I think this was one. Number 9. Had that on a couple quiz. Number 16. No, we're not doing 16. We don't have to do it. Don't worry. Okay? It's not on your test. I don't want to go into that right now. I want to give you enough time. Number 20, James. Okay. Sorry for the lag. I think I'll test out Twitch and see if there's less lag on Twitch. Okay, answer the following question. List all the possible rational roots. Okay, so to get the rational roots, you take the last number, 7, and you take all of its factors. So 7 is the same as 7 times 1. Okay? Then we're going to take the first number and take all of those roots. So those roots are 8 or factors, 4, 2, and 1. And then we're going to make them plus or minus. Okay? So we got all of these. So our possible answers that we could have are 7 over 8, 7 over 4, 7 over 2, 7 over 1, 1 over 8, 1 over 4, 1 over 2, 1 over 1. And the only one that has those, where you have 7 over 8, is this one here. So this is our answer, D. Okay? Now next, use synthetic division to test for a possible root. Okay? So I'm going to take one of these numbers. I don't know which one. I mean, the easiest way is to plug this into your calculator and see where it crosses. So I can show you that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my plots, y equals, and I'm going to type this in, 8x to the third plus 50x squared. Mic closer, there you go. 50x squared minus 41x let me try to fix that. (41x) and plus 7. There we go. And then I'm going to graph it. Let's see, did I leave something in there? Oh, let's delete that. All right, graph it. Let's try to see where it crosses. Well, okay, those are in between 1, so those aren't going to work, but this one crosses at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can use -7 to do synthetic division to find the rest of them. So I'm going to do 8, 50, -41, and 7. And we'll do synthetic division. So I'm going to drop the 8. 7 times 8 is -56. Combine those, I get -6. Multiply these together, I get positive 42. Combine those, I get 1. And multiply this, I get -7. So yeah, 7 was one of my zeros. So I'm going to put that aside. I got 7. And now I'm going to factor this guy here. So this is 8x squared minus 6x plus 1. So now I need to look at factors of 8 that will give me 6. And real quick, factors of 8, and they're both going to be negative, by the way. Factors of 8 are 8 and 1, 4 and 2. If I combine both of these and they're negative, that gives me negative 6. Okay? And since this is positive, I'm just going to put these guys here. 8, excuse me, let me erase that. I'm going to put 4 and 2 here, x and x, and then I'm going to make my 1 negative. Negative 1 and negative 1. So when I multiply these together, it gives me positive 8. When I multiply these together, it gives me positive 1. And when I do the foiling, negative 2 and negative 4 is negative 6x. So my other answers are going to be this one, 1 over 4, and this one, 1 over 2. Okay, so those are my answers. Okay, so the first one, I figured out 7 worked. I used graphing to do that, and then I found the rest of them by doing synthetic division. All right, that's 20, 21. Let me see if there's anything else on our thing. Okay, I'll stay on a second. I know it's laggy, so let me know if there's any other questions. You can put them on Google Chat or put them in the YouTube chat. Henry said number 9. Let me see. 9, okay. How do you find area? It's length times width, okay? So I'm going to do x times x plus 50 is equal to the area, and the area is 300. All right, so that gives me x squared plus 50x. I'm going to move this over right now. Minus 300 equals 0. And I can't think of factors of 300 that'll give me 50. So I'm just going to jump straight into the quadratic equation. So I'm going to use x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay? So negative b is going to be negative 50 plus or minus the square root of 50 squared minus 4. A is 1, so I'm not going to put it in there. C is negative 300, excuse me, over 2, and again, there's no A. So let's simplify this. 2,500, negative and negative is plus. 4 times that is 1,200. So right now it's looking like negative 50 plus or minus the square root of 27. Excuse me, let me erase that. 3,700. Okay, over 2. Now real quick, I can fix this here. 3,700 is the same as 100 times 37. That's a prime number, but 100, the square root of 100 is 10. So I have negative 50 plus or minus 10 square root 37 over 2. And if I divide everything by 2, I get 25, and over here I get 5. So that's where I get negative 25, negative 25 plus or minus 5 square root 37. So that's the width. That's x. Now to find the length, we just add 50. So I'm going to add 50 to this negative 27, negative 25 plus 50. That just gets us back up to 25 plus or minus 5 square root 37. Okay? All right, let me know if there's any more questions. I'll hang on for a second. they're going to be word problems. I don't recall. Maybe. I mean, there's only 3 word problems on the study guide, so it could be one of those. And one of them I already canceled out, and I showed you how to do both the other ones, so you should be good. All right. That's it, guys. Go check out the test is on MyMathLab. It's set up for a 70-minute timer. So you have 70 minutes to do it. It's 16 questions. I'm going to be checking the test as your attendance. Okay? So I'll be checking your attendance. I'm getting more questions in. So if you want, go ahead, go check out the test, but I'll answer Kyle's question real quick. He asked why there are negative numbers. Shouldn't it be positive for the area question? Let me see if I have that here. Okay. Now, technically, you're saying right here that the answer was negative. If you do negative 25 times 5 square root 35, if you add those together, your answer is actually positive. Because 5 times square root of 35, that's pretty close to 6, right? The square root of 36. So that's pretty close. So 6 times 5 is 30, and negative, so it's roughly a little bit more than 5 feet. It's a little bit more than 5. Okay? And then this one here, we're going to add 25 to this. So this is about add 20, actually adding 50 to this. So this should be about 55. So I hope that clears it up. Okay. All right, guys, I got to go. I'm going to end the stream. I'll see you guys later. I know. You answer it. No, don't worry about it. All right, let's get off.